You're listening to Factual America. Jake, maybe you can give us a synopsis of the film.
Yeah, I mean, basically, there is an abandoned, pretty mainstream American theme park smack dab in the middle of New Orleans. And it's always been a point of interest for many people. A lot of people who enjoy going to abandoned places, that's like their bucket list place to go. And it's become this kind of weird cultural icon as sort of a lasting monument of Katrina, if you will. So we set out to sort of tell the story of that property, from the beginning, middle, and then to the very tumultuous, rather unknown future of the property. And I think we do a pretty good job exploring that throughout the entire film.
And this is, it was first called Jazzland, then it became Six Flags New Orleans.
Right.
Had a relatively short life, didn't it? It was just...
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. I believe it opened in the year 2000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So from 2000 to 2005,
yeah,
only opened for 5 years, more or less, and it closed every season. So it wasn't open for very long.
And really, the 2005 season, it had just opened because Katrina was in August of 2005. And so it had just opened for their August season. They started like kind of in the summer. And so like they were just kicking off their August season. And so I think it was really only like 4.5 years. And only, I think, 2.5 under Six Flags brand.
Sounds about right, yep.
Okay, so your film so hour long, very great footage that you've got.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, it's not, you have the ubiquitous drone shots, but they're used extremely well. And I think some amazing archival stuff that made me feel old, because I didn't think 2000 would look so dated, but it looks pretty old. But John, I mean, so are you from the area originally?
Yeah, I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, my entire life, and it's a relatively small city, and so New Orleans is kind of the big city.
Yeah.
And so, I grew up between both cities my entire life.
So Jazzland, Six Flags opens up in 2000. What did it mean for New Orleans in the region?
Yeah, when it opened, I mean, I was relatively young, but I still remember there being the excitement of there being a theme park, because I think at some point in the film we show a map of the radius of every theme park in the United States, and there was this massive gaping hole in the deep south where if you lived in Louisiana, it was either you drove 8 or 10 hours to Disney, or you drove 6 hours to Texas. And so I just remember being so excited that we would finally have a theme park that we could go to, and there was relatively small little fairs and stuff, but it was really exciting. And I even remember I was 6 when the park actually opened the first time, and I still remember to this day the excitement of seeing all the commercials and all that.
Okay. I mean, you read about that map, and I was noting that I had been to just about all those theme parks.
Yeah.
But New Orleans didn't have one when I was
exactly. Yeah, it was a great spot.
So I think this would be, if it's okay, you've shared some clips with us, and I want to share those with our listeners, and for those who are on YouTube, you get to see it as well. The first clip I think would be good is it's all about the opening, and then we get a little bit of how it quickly, that even before the big event happens, the theme park was running into a little trouble. Do you want to set that up?
Yeah. So the first clip, we had a wide variety of archival stuff, but pretty quickly we jump into things started off really, really well, and things were really exciting, and there was a lot of hope for the park, but ultimately, pretty much immediately, it was financially unsuccessful. And so
let me chime in too, John. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand, we don't really touch upon it in the film, just because there's a lot of moving parts in the corporations. But Ogden Entertainment, which was the corporation that was made specifically to run, to spearhead their new park division with the new Jazzland Park, they were putting a lot on this. Jazzland was a costly endeavor by a local businessman, and Ogden Entertainment, a brand new corporation made just for this, was created just so they can operate this park. So not only was it launching a new local major theme park, it was launching a brand new corporation that was supposed to be the next big Universal Studios and Disney and Six Flags. So
That's interesting.
yeah, there was a lot riding on this park, and there was a lot of enthusiasm with these executives.
It was a big gamble too.
Yeah.
It was a very big gamble, trying to start essentially this new theme park empire is what I guess their plan was.
And they were local businessmen, right? Who had this vision for the next Universal Studios.
A local businessman who had done a lot of development in New Orleans, and it was his idea to build a massive theme park in somewhere in New Orleans, because that was in their original business plan. As John was saying, the map of the gaping hole of no theme parks in the Louisiana area.